Hello everyone, welcome to our Swiss Entrepreneurs Talk Show. Today we are visiting Team Mitipi. They're the creators of Kevin, and they're going to talk to us today about their product. They're just about to launch it. We're going to know more about Kevin. Why did you think there was a need for Kevin in the market? Why did you decide to come up with this idea? Why?
People who experienced a burglary, that's really a big impact for them. So sometimes they don't feel safe anymore. Some people even develop like psychological traumas. There is like the adjustment disorder, which results in sleepless nights, or people can't concentrate anymore, or they just don't feel home anymore and they have to change places and stuff. So it even impacts their social environment. And that's when we actually started to look at the idea and, how can we help? And the next step there was then to not only look at the victim side, but also research the burglary side. So we talked to prevention experts, to police officers, even to burglar, to find out what is happening, why do burglars and how do they act.
How safe is Kevin to have Kevin in the house?
Kevin is, of course, very safe. I mean, we're working to make sure that it complies to all or to most major certifications. So it holds all the labels that we need to put it on the market. And at the same time, we're also optimizing it that it's safe to be worked by everyone, like all different kinds of ages. So it should be very easy to use and very approachable.
But is it environmental friendly?
It is environmentally friendly. Like, for example, a lot of people maybe until they get a Kevin, they used to run their TV for long times, or they used to run very energy-consuming lights for a long time. And that is what we try to make sure with Kevin, that we're quite efficient on that department.
Can you use battery with it?
It's not a battery. It's not a device that is made to be run on battery, because so it's a device that is plugged in. We would highly recommend it has Wi-Fi on board so that you can connect it via your existing internet connection to the internet, which helps us improve the features of the simulation a lot. There is an offline mode, so you don't need to connect it. But of course, having it connected, we can, for example, load new content data and create more variety, or we can also load additional information from the internet, for example, a weather forecast for your region, which then can in turn influence the simulation. So we can react to certain things when we know about them, but Kevin not having any sensors except for an illumination sensor so that it can sense is it bright or dark. We don't have microphones, we don't have these kinds of, or we don't have cameras. So we need to somehow, in order to have the best simulation possible, we still need to have somehow the data. And that is why we recommend connecting it to the internet.
Do you face any challenges working as a team?
Yeah, like we have a lot of discussion. I mean, this team is great. I hate working with them, actually. Just kidding, because we have so many discussions. I mean, I love working with Laura, but these guys have so many arguments sometimes. But okay, we have a lot of discussions, but we have like really positive discussions. So everything helps. Each of us has some specializations, and we have extensive experience in our fields. But when it comes together for something that we don't know, so we have a discussion internally. We ask for advice from external experts.
You as the leader of the team, what's your biggest challenge?
Oh, biggest challenge. I think it doesn't have to do with the team. I really think one of our core strengths is actually the team, because we're so diverse, as Con mentioned. Everybody has his domain, so we're very strong in different parts, and that's how we complement very well. Of course, there are a lot of challenges. I mean, one of the challenges, none of us has studied hardware engineering, so the challenge is there to find good external partners who are trustworthy, who deliver in time, and then you need to manage them all the time, to get things done. That's more kind of the challenge, to work in the network.
You're the only lady in the team. How does it feel?
It feels good. I mean, I think it's always nice to have different people. It's not only about gender, but just people with different backgrounds, and I think that's nurturing. Yeah.
Are you spoiled by the three of them being the only lady? I mean,
yeah, maybe sometimes.
Laura is the facilitator of all of us.
that's great.
I'm also bringing cookies sometimes.
That's really great. Okay, Laura, tell us about the plans of the company. What are your future plans? What are you seeing ahead of you?
Yeah, I mean, Julian has already spoken a bit about it. In January, we will go to CES in Las Vegas, which is a consumer electronics show. And there we will present our functional prototype. There we will meet people, of course, and just really present it to the world, kind of. Because afterwards, we will launch our Kickstarter campaign.
In the near future, in 1 or 3 years, where do you see Kevin?
I mean, I think we can always improve Kevin itself. I mean, that's one part. As Jacob said before, I mean, we can on the software side change things or have updates for you. So we will also see how people react to it, or if they have ideas. I think on the crowdfunding pages, they often give you ideas that you maybe haven't thought of yet. So we're really looking forward to that.
What date is the crowdfunding exactly?
It's in Q1. We don't have it defined.
You don't still have it defined.
Yeah,
Okay,
exactly.
that's very nice. Thank you. And I'm going to ask you, what advice, what thought would you like to share with our entrepreneurial community about your company first, and about your observation as an entrepreneur, as a young lady who is into tech?
I think the advice is just do it, try it out if it's for you, because it is really fun, and it's very nice to learn something new. I mean, I don't have any background in engineering or also not in programming, and it's very nice to meet people who have a different background and learn from each other. So, yeah.
That's great. And for you?
Oh, for me, I think Laura already said it, that startup or the startup life might not be for everyone, but sometimes there are very hard times, or you're working long, you're working on a deadline, but at the same time, for example, I've rarely ever experienced working with this kind of with these kinds of people together. It's a very special, I would say, atmosphere, because of the scene, and also working in a startup attracts a very special kind of people. So you will simply not find people who would be very comfortable in the corporate world working in a startup, at least not for very long, because it requires a different kind of approach. And I think that is what I like a lot about it, the people actually.
Thank you so much, guys. You are doing an incredible job. I wish you the best. And I'm looking forward to sharing your crowdfunding campaign when it begins on all our social media websites, everywhere.